Good morning, ladies and gents. I can't believe we're still here in isolation and for the foreseeable future as well. So I feel like this is a good time to say that in term 5 we really now need to be finishing up the final assignment. So this video is going to be all about your final major project. So before I go into that, I hope you're all keeping well and that you are still able to work. If you are struggling with anything, any work whatsoever, please get in touch with me. I have been in touch with most of you, but there are a few of you who are still struggling via communication. So I'll be making phone calls next week, try and touch base with all of you, but please do get in touch with me via email, and then if I can speak to you on the phone, we can have a discussion on where maybe you're struggling, okay? Email me at sam.perkins@eastkent.ac.uk for any questions, absolutely anything. I think I have pretty much got hold of every single one of you via email, at least spoken to a few of you on the phone as well. So that's good, and hopefully you are able to get the work complete, even if it's just paper and pen. The minimum you can have is paper and pen. You can still get everything complete, and that's the main thing. If you have access to more, a laptop, Word, Moodle, which gives you then access to Office 365 and PowerPoint, etc., then great, then you get to utilise it. But not everyone is in that great position, and I understand that, so pen and paper is enough to get it complete. I've had students write on paper and then take a photo and just email it to me. Everyone pretty much has those capabilities. But if you don't, let me know and we can sort something out. This final major project, I'm going to go through it in a minute, is a template, is another handbook, just like what Unit 4 was. It's a handbook to complete. Now, if you have access to Moodle, you can download it, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But if you don't, I will drop a paper copy to your house. I have it posted to your house, so you've got a paper copy that you can just fill in with a pen, and that's it. That's your handbook complete. But I need you to let me know. You need to let me know that I need to post that to you. Okay. Right. I'm going to go through it now. So this is the final major project. This is your final major project. Now, there are 2 more assignments as well, and one of them will be issued at the same time as this. However, the final major project needs to be issued today and this week, because it's going to take 6 weeks. It's going to take a long time to complete. So in order for you to complete it, I need to be able to deliver it to you now, so that you can then go and start working on it. And it's a handbook. It is a handbook to complete and just fill in, but it is going to take 6 weeks, and you'll understand why in a second. Okay. So final major project, I will refer to it as the FMP from now on. If I ever say FMP, this is what I'm referring to. I'd always planned to do this all year long as a final major project. However, because of everything going on, I've adapted it slightly. I've included part of 2 units in this, and I didn't anticipate to do the handbook, so I've put the handbook together so it's easier for you guys to actually complete. Okay, I'm going to go off screen, and I'm going to discuss from behind the camera exactly what you're seeing on the screen. Okay. So the final major project incorporates Unit 3 and Unit 5. These are the 2 units that you're currently working on. You've just submitted, you should have just submitted assignments 1 for Unit 3 and assignments 1 for Unit 5. So those should be complete. Okay, so the learning aims for completing this final major project. You are going to plan and undertake a 6-week program to develop own technical skills and tactical awareness. You're going to review your own technical and tactical development and set goals for further development. You're also going to develop and review a psychological skills training program to enhance your own sports performance. Okay, don't worry if you're a little bit confused by that. I'm going to go through it in a bit more detail now. So this is your final major project. A 6-week training program. a 6-week training program where you are going to improve in an area, in 3 areas actually. So you are going to carry out a 6-week training program. The deadline is the 12th of June. So as you can see, it's a long way away, or seems a long way away now, but actually it's about 7 or 8 weeks. Gives you 6 weeks to carry out your training program and a couple of weeks before and after to make sure your handbook is complete. So the 12th of June is the deadline. Okay, so the scenario is Canterbury Christchurch University's Sports Lab and Director of Sport Dan Stretch has commissioned you to carry out a 6-week training program, developing your own technical, tactical and psychological skills. Those are your 3 areas. Okay, so those are your 3 areas that you need to improve in your 6-week training program. So using your research, experience and knowledge of sports, assess your own technical skills, your tactical awareness and your psychological skills. You're then required to plan and carry out a 6-week program in the 3 areas and review your findings. Use a suitable method to record your process. That is simply the handbook, okay? I was going to get you guys to choose your own methods how to record it, but I feel like in this environment we're in at the moment, in the situation that we find ourselves in, this handbook will be the easiest way for you guys to complete this. So you're going to be required to produce a development plan identifying future targets for development performance. At this stage, I'm going to say this may be a bit overwhelming. The handbook will make it so much simpler. If you just follow step by step and answer each section and do as it says, that will get you through it. Okay, so it will break it down for you. So literally task 1, task 2, task 3, you don't have to worry about anything else until you get to it. Yes, I'm going through it all now, but try not to be overwhelmed. You can use this video to go back, double check on anything. The handbook is the key. The handbook, following the handbook, whether you've got it in paper form or whether you're going to have it on the computer. Okay. So task 1. Task 1 is your initial assessment of your own skills. So task 1 is all about doing something before the 6-week program. This is doing your initial assessment. How are you at it now? So you've got 3 areas: technical, tactical and psychological. 3 areas that you need to test out before you set a 6-week training program. So technical skills. You need to assess your own technical skills. Do this by submitting video evidence of you participating in the sport of your choice in a competitive situation. Complete a self-analysis report to accompany this video. The report needs to include these 3. Again, I'm not going to emphasise these because they are all in your handbook. So don't feel overwhelmed by these. They're in your handbook. They will prompt you to complete those. What I want you to do is to assess your own technical skills. Now if you can submit a video, if you can video yourself taking part in an activity, great. Please do so. But I understand that technology may not be with you, that you can able to do that. You might not have someone to help. If you can set up a camera in your garden or in your house, your phone, and video yourself taking part in an activity, great. That can be used, and you can submit that on Moodle. It obviously doesn't go in the handbook. You can put it on YouTube. Put the link on in the handbook. That's great. But if you can't do it, then just do the written part. So take part in the activity and then do the written part, which is the next task. The next part of the task is to write how you got on. Really review how you got on. So you need to assess your own technical skills. This is just technical skills. Yeah, just technical skills. So remember, it might be a discrete movement, it might be a continuous movement, something like that, a technical skill in a sport of your choice. Now, in this environment we're in this position we're in at the moment, it's difficult for you to play sport. I understand that. George actually has already completed this because, as we know, George is about to leave us and join the Navy. So he's actually already completed his final major project, and he did surfing. So for anyone in the Giants who knows George, big surfer, big keen surfer, he uploaded a video of him surfing that he did because he was able to do that in this. Now you guys are the footballers or the rugby players. It would have been great if we could have had video evidence of you playing, but unfortunately we can't do that. So this is going to be quite simply an activity that you can do at home, whether it's press-ups or sit-ups or some sort of fitness, some burpees, you might want to do star jumps, a technical skill that you maybe can improve. Maybe if it is football and you have a garden, you might want to practice your free kick technique. Anyone who plays tennis might want to practice the serve. You don't particularly have to hit the ball in any of those scenarios, but just set yourself up so that you can improve that technical skill. So video yourself so that you can assess that. And as I say in the handbook, these 3 things will prompt you to complete. You should all be familiar with SWOT analysis, SMART targets, and a written review. Doesn't have to be very long. Okay, tactical awareness. So tactical awareness down here is assess your own tactical awareness by submitting evidence of tactical planning prior to your participation. So prior to doing this, assess some evidence of tactical awareness, and that can simply be any type of plan. It might be written down on the board tactics of how you're going to complete your technical skill, or it might be probably best maybe even to just do a kind of a virtual one, what you would have done in that scenario, because we're unable to complete any sport and play any sport at the moment. It might be more like my tactics would have been. Again, using George's example, he wrote down his tactics on how to approach the wave and how to ride the wave and what he would do to be able to get onto his board to manage that wave. Yeah. Following that performance, so following your initial assessment, where you've videoed yourself and you've done that, self-analyse your tactical awareness of your own performance. Identify strengths and areas for improvement. Again, use your handbook. It's all there, and it will prompt you for absolutely everything. And you're going to set yourself SMART targets and how to improve your tactical awareness. And finally, the third area, so technical, first area, tactical, second area. The third is psychological. The psychological skill. Assess your psychological skills towards the sport you're participating in. So before participating in your activity, whatever it is that you try to do, complete a psychological SWOT analysis. Again, in the handbook. It's in the handbook, and it will prompt you to do that. And then, following participation, you can set SMART objectives. We've done SMART targets all year long. We've done SWOT analyses all year long. So you should be very familiar with those and how to do those and the benefit of them. So consider assessment, assessing strengths, areas for improvement. That's the main area for anything. Any of the SWOT analysis, any SMART targets. Strengths, what are you good at? What was good about that performance? What was good about that activity that you viewed, that you videoed of yourself? What are your areas for improvement? Because ultimately, the areas for improvement are what is going to fuel your 6-week training program. Okay? SMART objectives. They're all in your handbook. It's all there prompting you, but you should remember what a SMART objective is. Okay, task 2 is then going to be plan and undertake your 6-week training program. And this is to develop your own technical skills, tactical awareness and psychological skills. So ultimately, you're going to plan and undertake your 6-week training program. So this isn't something you can do in a week before the end of the year or 2 weeks before the end of the year. You've got to start this now. For all you guys that leave it last minute, you can't do that with this, because you've got to complete the 6-week training program. You've got to outline what you're doing throughout the 6 weeks. Okay, really quite simple. Each day I'm going to be practicing on my press-ups, or I want to improve my bicep curls, or I want to improve my core strength. You know, whatever it is, it's very, very basic, but you want to just work on those each day. Just explain what you're doing. So it's not a huge amount of work, but it is regular, on a regular basis. So you're going to be undertaking that 6-week training program. Now I'm not going to go through this now. I'm going to leave it here on the screen, and if you want to have a read of it, you can pause it now and have a read. But this is all detailed in the project brief and the assignment brief, and it's all in your handbook. So I'm not going to bore you anymore with me talking through it, because ultimately you'll probably lose interest. So if you need to pause now, please do and have a read. This is the details for task 2. And then task 3 is your final report. Review your 6-week training program. And I'd like an 800-word report, please. Okay, so the final task is a written report. You guys are familiar with writing these now. I am hugely impressed with everyone and how well you write reports now. And yes, I know a lot of you go, oh no, another 800 words report. But actually, it's some of your best work. You're able to talk about something that you've done so well that 800 words just goes like that. It's so good. So once the 6 weeks have been completed, you need to review your progress and identify strengths, future areas for improvement. You may even want to participate again in a sport of your choice, reflecting on whether you have seen an improvement in the areas you aim to develop. So if it is one of your sports that you're really keen in, and you're interested in, and you've done it, you can do in your back garden, or you can do in your lounge, or in your bedroom, great. Or if it's just the physical activity of burpees, sit-ups, press-ups, that's still fine. You might want to do it again. Is there an improvement? Did you, when you did your initial assessment, do 30 burpees in 2 minutes? And then you're absolutely keeled over, knackered. But then this time you did it again, 6-week training program, you've improved on different areas of your body over the 6 weeks, and now you've been able to do 40 in 2 weeks, something like that. That might be great to put in there. Consider the 3 areas. What technical skills have you developed? What tactical awareness have you developed? Psychological skills developed. Let's take an example of the burpees. So I'm doing burpees in my bedroom. Everyone knows what a burpee is. If you don't, Google it, watch it on YouTube. I'm not going to demonstrate it right now. A burpee in the bedroom. That's what I've got. I've got my bedroom, I've got a space, a lounge or a kitchen, somewhere I can do a burpee. My technical skill is discrete. It's a small action. It's going down to the ground, popping back up again, arms in the air. That's my discrete movement. That is a burpee. My tactical awareness is area. Is it clear? Have I got a clear space to work on? Have I got maybe music to work towards? Have I got all the right equipment to use? Now burpees don't really need the equipment, but you want a nice hard floor, you obviously want space around you, don't want anything in your way, you want motivation, so you want maybe music, and that's maybe where it comes into there, psychological skills. In your initial assessment, maybe you didn't have music, maybe you weren't using the burpee technique properly, and maybe you didn't have the space to use. And in your 6-week program, you can detail how you changed that and what you're going to do to change that. So you worked on your technique. Maybe you could look up how to improve your burpee technique. Your tactical awareness, you develop that by making more space, by finding an area, maybe it's the garden or front garden or the street, somewhere or a park that you're allowed to go on your one activity a week when you're allowed, one activity a day that you're allowed out. You might find a space that you can do it better. And then psychological skills. Is it motivation? What's my motivation to complete it? Is it that I want to get to 40 in 2 minutes instead of 30? Is it motivation is just because I just want to complete this assignment? That's an extrinsic motivation. You're just doing it because you want to complete the assignment. That's absolutely fine. That's a psychological skill developed. And ultimately you'll be reviewing everything against your smart targets. It's all in the handbook. It's all in the handbook, and it will be absolutely prompted for you. So you just have to fill it in as you go through. So pretty simple. Okay, it's important that you have access to it. Moodle or paper copy. You tell me what you're going to be using. Okay, so when I phone you next week and we talk, or we email and we talk, you tell me how you're going to be completing this. So the criteria is lengthy because it is our biggest assignment of the year. Okay, so I won't be reading these out and bore you with it. If you want to have a pause and have a look, you can. This is outlined in your assignment brief, in your project brief, and it is also outlined in the handbook. So if you ever want to refer to it, it's all there. But as you can see, there's a big criteria for this assignment. A lot of criteria to meet. Okay, so hopefully now you're getting an idea of what you need to complete. Break it down to that burpee example. That's actually it. Follow the handbook, come up with something simple that you can improve on, that you can improve on technically, that you can improve on tactically, that you can improve on psychologically. Okay? I'm now going to show you Moodle. I'm going to go through Moodle behind the screen, put it on the screen, and talk about how to download the assignment brief, the project brief, and how to download the handbook. Okay, so everyone has access to Moodle. This is going to be for you. Okay, so there's Moodle, which you should be very familiar with now. There's our course. So you need to scroll down past all the units that we've covered so far and get to past Unit 5 and get to the final major project, the FMP, 6 weeks skills training program. And in here, firstly you'll see a forum that you can ask questions, and please do. It's another great way of getting in touch with me. If you don't want to send me an email, you're on Moodle and you don't want to send me an email to pose a question, just stick it in there. I check it daily. You then can download, there's your submission. There's where you can finally submit your handbook. If you can't do it on Moodle, you can hand me your copy. If you have a paper copy, please, you'll be able to hand that to me. I'm happy to come and collect it, or we'll figure out a way of doing that. Otherwise, assignment brief and template. These are the two that you need. So there's the assignment brief. If we download that, that will give you absolutely every piece of information that I've just gone through. Just like any other assignment brief that we use, very, very similar, but it details absolutely everything that I've just gone through. So that's your assignment brief, and there's your criteria. And there's your handbook. So download your handbook template and open that up, and that is what you can use to complete this assignment. It's a final major project, 6-week training program. So the deadline is the 12th of June. Stick your name in there, and then literally just scroll down and start completing it. So there's boxes there for you to complete, questions there. Every single bit has something to follow. So it is quite simple. Just follow it, page by page, go through it, and it will prompt you in what to do. Okay? It's important that you start this now. Start it now. You've got the time. There is no excuses for this. Okay, there is no excuses, because I will get a paper copy to you. If you need a pen, I'll get a pen to you as well. So there is no excuses not to be able to complete this. You all are physical students, sporty students, you are able to do this at home. I want no excuses in having this FMP complete. Okay, but I need communication with you to be able to know how you're going to be doing this. Is it paper copy, or is it on the computer and you can just download it and work on it there? Okay, so at this stage, good luck, enjoy it. It's actually, don't be overwhelmed by all the text and me talking. This is a practical assignment, it's really good fun. It doesn't take too much filling in, actually. It just takes you time to be able to do the activity, review it, think about how you're going to improve, and then review it at the end. Okay? Good luck and enjoy, and you'll be getting some more videos from me soon. I'd also just like to finish on, I mentioned George earlier, that he's already completed this. We are going to have to say goodbye to George. He is off to the Navy on Monday the 28th of April, I believe. Now, for Giants specifically, we had planned going away, didn't we? We were going to go bowling, and we were going to give him a good send-off, and unfortunately in this isolation we can't do that. So I do encourage you all to make sure you get in touch with George, do say your goodbyes, and to George yourself, what a wonderful student you've been this year. For everyone else, he's completed every single assignment at a brilliant standard. I can tell you that now. Officially the marks haven't come in yet, but it's a very high standard. So I want you guys to push yourselves to get to there as well. George is very, very capable and a very good student, and so are all of you. You can all do it. Okay, but you've got much longer, so there should be no excuses to get this done. Any outstanding assignments, get them done. And then you can start working on your FMP, but you've got to get that started now. George, good luck. Have a great time in the Navy. We're all very proud of you. And on behalf of the whole group, I'll be dropping around a little present for you, and to send you all your best wishes. Yeah, we're all very proud of you, mate, so well done. Okay everyone, FMP, go get started. Any questions, email me, Moodle, do what you need to do to get in touch with me. I'll be calling you all next week, and yeah, until the next video, cheers.